to be on your screen right now, and I am even more excited about all of the learning that is going to be happening throughout this conference. Okay, so this conference is for every child between the age of 5 and 13. Yes, even your 13-year-old, even you 13-year-old can learn a lot from this conference. And all parents, we have so much asked for you. My name is Maribeth Chima, and I am the convener of the Young and Empowered Children's Conference. I am the founder of the Parenting Through Mentorship Academy, and yes, the proud matron of the Children's Mastermind Circle, a mentorship and accountability group that we program that we run for young children. Now, the Young and Empowered Children Conference is brought to you by the Parenting Through Mentorship Academy and the Mastermind Circle. We thought about this vision about 4 years ago because we said to ourselves, so many young children are lost, thinking that they are so young to live the purpose that God has created them for. So many young children are out there simply just wallowing away, watching one screen after another, and they don't know that there is so much that God has put inside of them. There is so much that they have packed inside that if they start living out and they start shining their light today, then the sky is not even their limit. There is no limit to their lives. So we decided, why don't we put together a great conference like this, where we can reach out to many more children, more than the children that we work with. We can reach out to children all around the world, all around the country, and everywhere, so that they get to learn and see that which is packed inside of them. So if you're here today, I want to say to you, congratulations, you made the right choice to be here today, because at the end of this conference, you are going to be transformed. At the end of this conference, your mindset, how you think, is going to change. So boys and girls, if you are here, I want to say welcome. I'm going to tell you, after I am done talking, okay, you will take a break and go and grab some juice, water, or snack while your parents have a session with someone very important. Because you know something, before we can get you to do the things that you need to do, to learn the things that you need to learn, to understand the things that you need to understand, it is important that your parents, first of all, know what they need to know. So we can't start this conference without making sure that your parents are in the right place. So we're going to start the first session with your parents. Yes, we're going to start the first session with your parents. Your parents are going to, sit to a mind-blowing session. We want their minds to be open to the fact that for them to help you to become everything that God has created you to be, they do not need to make you weak babies, because you may be 5, 6, 10, 12. But no, you are not, you're not too young, all right? You're not too young. You are actually more than your age. That is what Kamsi is going to be talking about. Our second speaker for today is going to be talking about you being more than your age, because indeed you are more than your age. So, boys and girls, I need you to take a break right now and go and tell your mommy and daddy that the next session is for them. So they need to get ready, they need to get their jotters, they need to get set, get somewhere quiet where they can sit down and learn, because what they learn today is going to help you, is going to help them support you to become that giant, to become that person that God has created you to be. All right, so If you're ready, just go now and tell your parents this session is for them, so they should come here right now because it's about to go down. All right. So welcome to this session. Okay, sorry we had to move our beginning time to 4 so that we can do the introduction and jump right into the first session of today. So dear parents, this first session of the day is for you. And we put this session together because we understand that if parents do not understand firsthand that parenting is first about them, if parents do not understand firsthand that the energy with which their children will fly, right, is dependent on the energy with which they are flying. We want you to understand that your child will only push themselves as much as they see you push yourself. It's more about what you model to these children. It's more about what you are becoming. It's more about what you show them that is okay. That's how you give them permission to push. You give them permission to dare. You give them permission to see themselves more than beyond their ages. So in this conference, you will hear a lot about children being more than their ages. You will hear a lot about children being the light of the world and the need for them to shine that light. In this conference, you will hear a lot about children living in their purpose beginning right now. In this conference, you will hear a lot about the experiences that have helped other children become the resourceful teenagers that they have become. In this conference, we will have not just parenting sessions, we will have not just children's sessions, but we will have both sessions. Today we begin with a children's session, with a parenting session, where Coach Wendy Ologi, Africa's #1 coach, parenting coach, is going to be here with us, speaking to us about how our children can actually be made to be everything God has created them to be without us making them weak. And then in the next session will be a session for the children. So please get the children ready for their 5 o'clock session, because at 5 o'clock they're going to be right here in their first session, where one of our mentors, our teenagers, will be talking to them. He will be speaking to them about real life experiences. He will be talking to them about them being more than their ages. It's a session that you don't want your child to miss, because in this conference, we want children to see what is possible. We want children to see what other children who have been right where they are today, right, are doing, right, in the next level of their lives. So our children can begin to picture, or the younger children can begin to picture themselves and the vision ahead of them, seeing what is possible. In fact, they can dare to dream even bigger. Now, if children see examples, then they are propelled. If they see examples, then they are willing to stretch themselves, because now they see what is possible. It's not enough that we have adults, or as adults, we are constantly instructing them, teaching them. We're always in their faces, from the adults at home to the teachers in school, even to their mentors and their coaches. Sometimes we want them to see other young people. We want them to see what young people are doing, so that they know that this is not an adult's business. This is not about growing up and becoming an adult. This is about what you can do starting right now that you are a young person. So if you have a friend, you have a neighbor, you have a loved one, you have anyone at all who needs to be here and isn't here right now, I need you to send them an invite. I need you to send them this link. I need you to send them the invitation to join us in this conference, because it is our responsibility as parents to ensure that we create the right environment for our children. I say this over and over again. If you're doing so much, putting so much into your child, and you are not ensuring that the environment where your child is in, the people that your child hangs out with, the people that your child sits with, if you are not ensuring that they are also learning and they are also growing and having the right convictions and mindset as your child, then you will be creating a home. You will be opening windows that will take away from all that you are investing in your child. So this is why you need to invite them to be a part of this experience. All right. So if you are ready, we're going to be playing. One of our testimonials, right? We're going to be playing testimonials from one of the children in one of our programs in a few minutes. That is because, all right, I said that this program is powered by this conference is powered by the Mastermind Circle, our mentorship and accountability group for young children, where we nurture young children and we support and guide them to discover themselves. We help these young children to become aware of themselves, who they are. Identity is important in a world like the one we're living in right now. All right, so the identity is very important. And so we guide children to become aware of themselves first. When they are aware of themselves, then they know their place in the society. And so culture and all of the trends and every other thing that happens around them does not sway them away, because now they have been trained. Their ears have been trained for instructions. Their mindsets have been formed in the right way. Their convictions are in the right place. But this will not happen until we get them into the right rooms. This will not happen until they start having the right conversations. This will not happen until they start finding themselves amongst the right kind of people. So if you're ready, we're going to take a testimonial right now. So don't go away, just hang in there. Okay? Welcome again to the Young and Empowered Children Conference 2026.
Wendy Ologe stands as Africa's foremost parent coach, passionately driven by the belief that her influence on parents should shape the next generation across the continent. Founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. As the visionary behind the Intentional Parent Academy, Wendy dedicates herself to empowering parents to intentionally guide their children through the complexities of our evolving society. The Intentional Parent Academy strives to equip parents with the comprehensive tools needed to nurture exceptional children mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically. Wendy's conviction lies in the notion that fostering the next generation's growth is the key to a better world. Rejecting the notion of parenting as a mere collection of tips and hacks, Wendy advocates for a transformative process that unfolds over a child's 18-year journey with the parent serving as a steadfast guide throughout a child's lifetime. The Intentional Parent Academy offers an array of impactful programs and courses, with the Inner Circle program for parents be a flagship initiative. This year-long program, guided by the Intentional Growth Formula with the framework of raising kings, those who make kings and people who sit at the table with the kings, has transformed over 10,000 families globally. Wendy Ologe is a prolific author of best-selling 33 parenting books, including The Parenting Reset, The Parenting Advantage, The Calm Parent Framework, Connect to Correct, Raising the Independent Thinking Child, Discipline is Not an Emergency, From Yelling to Calm, Raising the Boy You Don't Need to Bail Out, Raising the Girl with Sense, and 25 others. Her publications, available both in Nigeria and on Amazon, have collectively sold over 1 million copies worldwide. The Intentional Parents Academy boasts a thriving online community of over 1 million members across platforms, with a Facebook group, Intentional Parents, amassing over 400,000 members. Facebook acknowledged the group as one of the most relevant and engaging parenting communities globally. Wendy Ologe's multifaceted journey reflects not only her professional prowess, but also her ability to navigate the intricate tapestry of family life with grace and commitment. Ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation, join me to welcome Coach Wendy Ologe.
Be here for the next about 10 minutes because, of course, I was hoping to ensure that, we'll start earlier than now because I have another engagement to run to. But thank you for being here. And it's so, so, so amazing to have the Young and Empowered Children's Conference, Day 1. And I'm so excited to be here. Congratulations to you, Marybeth. I am so, 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 so excited with what you're doing with the children. I hope there is no child here, because in fact, one of the things that I asked her was, I hope I'm not talking to any child. I don't know how to talk to children. I only know how to talk to adults. So if you're a child here, please excuse us. Thank you. All right. So we're going to be talking about, I'll just give you in few minutes, all right, what you want to see and do to just give you a charge, basically. I'm not really here to teach per se. I am here to give you a charge about, your journey, what you're doing. So, I've been giving the topic of protecting your child, should not weaken your child. Some parents actually protect their children too much, and their children end up not learning. And because we're dealing with younger children, all right, there's a lot of pushback, there's a lot of, a lot happening. You don't know where to draw the line, which actually, can be a thing. Now, healthy parenting is not. Healthy parenting is not overprotection or emotional abandonment. Now, you would need to be able to, there's no balance. You just need to do the right thing. People say, oh, you need to be able to balance. I do not believe in balance. I believe that the right thing must be done, because the truth is, like they say in Nigerian Palace, this life, no balance. And true, no balance. So if you're looking for balance, you are probably going to end up crashing. So today, we're looking at, how do you do the right thing? Your job is not to remove any hard thing from your child's life. Even if your child is 1, your job is to help them become strong enough to face life without losing themselves. Because a protected child should still learn how to solve, problems, how to handle handle disappointment, how to speak up, how to recover from failure, how to say no, how to think independently, how to regulate their emotions, how to recognize danger, and even how to actually even try. Now, some parents actually rescue too quickly. Before the child can think, before the child can process, before the child can even try, the parent jumps in. So when you constantly rescue your child, you're teaching them that you can't handle this. So even when you have a 1-year-old, all right, you find that your 1-year-old is trying to do things by themselves. One of the things that you want to do is to let them be able to handle things. Now, when you constantly rescue them, you teach them that, see, you are not capable. I also teach them that someone is coming to save you. Newsflash. Children actually learn how people come to save them, not as adults. They actually learn it as children. Adults learn it as children. So a lot of the times, people say, oh, you try to blame. That blame game starts on the very first day that the child is born. So if your child is 1 and your child is struggling, all right, the child is going to also struggle as an adult. So I look at parents who say to me that, oh, I wasn't able to do this because my child is still young. You must be able to give your child what it is that is required, age appropriate at every point in time. So, and then, you begin to teach your children that discomfort is a dangerous thing when you actually do all of that. Protection should build confidence, not dependency. Somebody help me write that in the comment section. Protection should build confidence, not dependency. All right. So your word should be, I support you, but I will also prepare you. That should be your position for your child. It means you're going to listen to the child without having to control them. It means you're going to have to guide the child without suffocating them. It means you have to help them without enabling them. It means you have to protect them without making them fearful of the world. Because one day you will not be there with them. How is it that you see that a 10-year-old loses a parent and survives better than a 17-year-old who the same thing happens to? Should anyone lose a parent? No, it's not something we pray about. But what if it happens? Can that child cope? Can that child survive? All right. This is very important. The goal is not for you to raise a child who only survives under your shadow. The goal is to raise a child who carries wisdom, who can discern, who is confident, who has emotional strength to actually be able to do it. Children need roots, but they also need wings. Children need roots, but they also need wings. And the truth of the matter is that sometimes the deepest form of protection is teaching them how to stand. So you need to teach your child how to stand. While you're protecting them, you need to teach them, don't weaken them. Don't weaken them. Yes, protection is right. But there's a limit to how you can actually protect your child. Like I often say, the protection has limit. What is limitless is what you can teach your child. You are not God. You can't know everything. So the part that God is actually has preserved or reserved for himself is protection. The part that God has reserved for you is parenting. Preparation and protection and parenting is your job. Then protection is actually for God. So what you can do is to the level of what it is that you can do per time. You don't really have the capacity to really protect your child in the way that you think. So what do you need to do? Children need roots, but they need wings also. So the root is actually planted by God. The wings, you actually build their wings. That's your job. So it means that if there is danger, they can actually really fly. So instead of just putting your children in the place where they are, they are incapacitated by protection. Sometimes what we call love is actually not love. I was having a conversation with a staff of mine, and I was saying that, sometimes when you're working, when you just start working, work is so stressful. You go to your parents and you say, oh, this work is so stressful. And they say, if you just leave it, come home. Do you know that that's not love? That's actually your parents bailing you out of discomfort. And that's because any parent who has bailed their children out from discomfort as young children will bail them out of discomfort forever. And that's an important aspect of your journey as a parent. So because, even Jesus, the child Jesus was raised to be able to navigate. I usually say to people that at age 12, your child should be able to actually go into the streets themselves and come home on their own. Jesus got lost on their way. Just imagine that Jesus couldn't navigate. So you must raise your child with that mentality. You need to learn protection with preparation. Am I preparing my child enough? So prepare them. Your job is not to remove every hard thing from your child's life. Your job is to help them become even strong enough to face life without losing themselves. So even with your 5-year-old, there's what to do with them. And I'm so excited that your 5-year-olds, your young children are here. They're already learning what life is about, how life can actually get. This is something that you need to pay attention to. All right. Mentorship is an amazing thing for a child. I envy your children actually. Imagine starting now to understand the process of having to be in a structured learning environment, which is some of the things that the parents I teach today struggle with. Just imagine that. So, a structured learning environment is something that actually helps a child. All right. So, congratulations to you. You are already on the right path. This is where I am going to end the conversation today. Like I said, I didn't come to teach. I just came to motivate you. I just came to tell you, well done. I just came to tell you that what you are doing is you being on the right track. And if you have a friend, a family, your children's friends, bring them into the mastermind. They will thank you for it eventually. Sometimes I wonder if some of us had started, like this from the very beginning. I wonder where we would have been. So imagine that. Put your children in the right spaces and you see them fly. This is part of giving your children wings to fly. Thank you so much, Mary Beth Chima, for being here. And congratulations to you again on the Young and Empowered Children Conference, Day 1. And shout out to all of you. I see you in the comment section. Top Bed, Top Star, Goldie. I see you. And Koye, thank you so much for being here. And BC, thank you so much and congratulations.